So, is the world of work going to change when they let us back out to play? Now, I keep seeing articles and posts on LinkedIn about the death of the office and the new normal, which is fast catching up with pivot and unprecedented as my most disliked phrases, when it comes to starting the economy. And I regularly comment when I see these posts because my views are quite straightforward, and indeed are being backed up by people's experiences now they are going back to the office. I truly believe that, to coin a phrase, the death of the office is greatly exaggerated. And I think many people have found that whilst they are actually perhaps more productive working from home, especially once the kids are back at school, because there are less distractions and, dare I say it, probably fewer meetings, and those meetings that are on Zoom are more focused and therefore take less time. People are noticing that they need other people. Work isn't, this might sound a bit controversial, but work isn't solely about being more productive. There is a benefit that is perhaps just as important, maybe more so, and that is the social interaction that your teams get and feeling part of a team. Human beings are social beings by nature, and we need to have people around us to bounce ideas off, and this is where the creativity comes into business, and where, you know, the new idea comes from, or the new way of doing things comes from. It comes from having a quick chat, perhaps at the end of a meeting where an idea has been sparked off. It's very hard to do that over Zoom, and I think, you know, people are missing their colleagues. They're missing, you know, having someone to bounce ideas off, because, you know, before you know where you are, you think you're doing the right thing, and you could go, in isolation, could go completely down the wrong track. And you sometimes just need somebody in the office to pull you or to nudge you gently back onto track. And I do think very strongly people are missing this. And it might sound a bit ironic coming from a VA, because by nature I work from home, but I'm not on my own. I work with my husband and we can bounce ideas off one another. I'm not in complete and utter total isolation. And for me, it helps having different clients in different industries, different sectors. It just keeps the brain ticking over, and I'm always sort of chatting to other people on the phone. But be truly productive and happy working from home is something that takes a lot of discipline and quite a bit of time to work out how it works for you. And I think the old 80-20 rule, 80% of people will never ever be happy working completely from home. So I think we're headed for a hybrid situation where you work part of the time at home, part of the time in the office, and kind of you almost have the choice of when you go into the office. And I did see a really interesting piece on LinkedIn. I've seen a couple that are basically saying that the office will become a destination of choice, and therefore it has to be made more interesting, somewhere that people actually want to go. And that might be simply by just creating more space so that you're not jammed in sort of like sardines in a can, but you've got a bit more space. I mean, obviously there will be hot desking once the cleansing side of things and the social isolation, social distancing has lifted. But I think that people will want to go to the office. They might not want to commute there full time, but they are going to want to go there a couple of times a week to catch up with their team, to catch up with their managers, and just to the wider company, the people that they don't deal with on a day-to-day basis, but they have dealings with. I think it is really, really important that they have the opportunity to still stay in touch with those. So I think it will be interesting to see how it evolves once, you know, everything is back to normal over the next couple of years. I mean, I guess the question is this going to be the big bang for working in the office, or will we revert to the tried and tested methods of commuting into the office 5 days a week? I for one truly hope it is, and I think this is a great opportunity to change the way we work. I think it's something that's on its way, but it is definitely been sped up